Hey guys, what's up? You're listening to the MFCEO Project. I'm your host, Andy Frisella, and I am the motherfucking CEO. I'm here with my co-host, Vaughn Kohler. What's up, man?
What's up? Not a lot. I always say that. I can't. Whenever you say "What's up, man," I don't know what to say.
Well, what's going on? What's the news in Vaughn the Impaler world?
I am a bachelor today and tomorrow, then I'm driving to Kansas City.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah.
pounds of weed being smoked and, and
Exactly.
bitches getting bows
It's
dropped
crazy.
on them.
I'm gonna
One's got a hall pass.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go across the river, and it's gonna be great.
So we also have
Just
a
kidding for those of you who don't know what sarcasm is.
and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, guys, we have a special guest today. Her name is Emily. She is the owner of FitHomeandHealth.com. She's a blogger, an entrepreneur, an author, and she also happens to be my wife.
That's true.
Yeah. Are you like? Does anybody ever refer to you as the first lady of First Form?
No, I did receive a tank top from a company that said Mrs. MFCEO on it that I wear
Did you
proudly.
really?
Yeah, I wore
Oh,
it like
that's
3 times
awesome.
a week.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
MFMRS.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I was
like
going to
that.
say.
Yeah. I
That's
like
going to be
that.
my license plate.
So, question of the day is, what the fuck are we going to talk about, dude? Because usually every time I come in here, I have this list of things that we're going to go through, and today I have no list.
Yeah, so I'm going to make an urgent plea to everyone listening at this very moment for you to give very high marks to this, because I want Andy and his lovely wife and Tyler, who is not wearing coral pants right now, but
Tyler,
I want,
where are your special pants?
Where are they, dude?
It's laundry day.
It was laundry day yesterday.
Okay. Anyway, I'm making this urgent plea. I want everyone to respond very positively to this, because I really had to sell Andy on this. We're gonna talk about a lot of things related to business and your significant other and relationships, but this isn't going to be like eHarmony. It's going to be MFCEO Harmony.
MFC Harmony?
MFC Harmony. No, it's not even going to be like that, but it's going to be a good conversation. So
Let's go.
You're down with it, right, Emily?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I thought that the first thing we could do is, for those who are really deep into these kinds of things, tell us your love story.
Well, who you want? You want me the truth, or do you want her story?
Roofies,
Well, why don't we hear
and here we are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ruthie's beer?
Roofie's beer, and here we are.
Roofie, not Ruthie.
No, who the hell's Ruthie?
I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. She stalked me for a long time.
Oh,
and then we went out, and now we're married. That's pretty much how it happened.
That's not what I heard.
In
Emily.
what world?
Okay, Emily,
It's
do you want
true.
to tell your I've heard that you
He's the Cliff Notes
you worked
version.
well, he's always the Cliff Notes version, but
That's what
I've
I
heard
love
that
about him.
I've heard that you worked as an ad manager or something like that.
Yeah,
and he showed up in a tuxedo with
I
flowers.
was an
candy.
operations and accounting manager for a design firm, and he walked in and was so struck and put back by me that he said,
Yeah.
I just got to have that, so I'm going to stalk her for 2
Yeah.
years.
No, that's not what happened. What happened was, and this is funny because a lot of people look at her and they look at me and they're like, dude, she's fucking with him because he's got some money, which I get that a lot. People
I
comment that
despise
shit on
that.
our
Yeah.
fucking
It's
pages.
terrible.
Actually,
So-
you know what I get all the time about you two?
What?
Dude, she just loves him for his beard.
Well, that's true.
You know
all.
what?
But-
I mentioned the beard in our wedding vows. Truth.
The point is that we do get a lot of that shit, and what people don't realize and what makes them look so fucking stupid when they say that is that the whole reason we even met is because I couldn't pay my fucking bills at the company that she worked at. So she used to have to call me and harass me to pay my bills when I didn't have any money. And then I would try to turn it into a joke and just tell her, she's calling to flirt with me. Like, that's the only thing I could do because I didn't have any money.
Right.
And so I think it's ironic that people say that shit, and it's like, dude, no, man, my game is just that strong.
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
We, what happened really is we were friends, and it just kind of evolved from that. We knew each other for years before we even went out on a date.
Yeah.
And she knew that I was broke.
And so how long did you guys actually date before you got married, and when did you get married?
We got married October 20th, 2012, and we got together middle of 09, and we met
Middle of
in
09.
06. So we
Cool.
knew each other 3 years, and then, yeah.
Cool.
So,
Well, so the reason that I think this is so valuable to talk about this is because we have had quite a few emails from people who, they're trying to kill it in business, they're trying to kill it in life, and they either have a significant other or they want a significant other. And one of the things that everybody in this room knows very well, none of us would position ourselves as marriage experts or even dating experts or love experts, but we've all learned a little bit about relationships here and there. And one of the things that I know you guys believe is that the significant person in your life, whether it's spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, they can make or break you professionally. And so this is relevant to success in business, just like hanging out with successful people is relevant, and just like we've talked about the importance of building loyal friendships is relevant. So this person who's sort of the center of your life in many ways is going to, their influence is going to ripple on everything you do. So what I want to know, I think one of the things that I want to just start with you, Emily, is just to say, what's a quality, one quality that you think that you've always looked for in a man that you found in Andy, and you say, thank God that's the case. Otherwise, our marriage, and by extension, my business attempts, would absolutely suck. What's that quality?
His work ethic, like his drive. Like I love that. That's the way my dad was, bust ass hard worker, and I like that. You know what I mean? Nobody wants freaking lazy ass,
right,
playing video games, watching ESPN, and sitting on the couch all day. So his drive and work ethic is, a quality that like is important to me.
And what did your dad do, or what does he do
he
right now?
He owns trucking firms and also is a farmer.
Like both? He does both?
Yeah, he's done both. He's 61. He's a hard-ass worker. He could outwork any 20-year-old.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think Andy has mentioned that guy before.
Yeah,
so.
That's the only guy Andy's, afraid of.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. Now, are you guys traditional enough that did Andy talk to
absolutely.
your dad before?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny story because my sister and her boyfriend have been together for a long time, and Andy was going to ask my dad permission to marry me on Easter. Easter 2011, I guess it was. And Andy had to leave to go do something else. And my sister's boyfriend asked my dad at Easter to marry my sister. And then I told Andy, I said, oh my gosh, Adam is going to marry Sarah. And Andy's like, what? And he didn't sound too excited. I didn't know what was going on. I found out months later he was going to ask the same day, but he didn't want to steal their thunder. So he had to wait months later to ask me. So
that's funny.
Kind of
that's
funny
good.
story. So
that
he was
good.
He's very traditional in asking.
What about you, Andy, in terms of what people look for, what you found in Emily that you are very glad that exists in her as a character quality, otherwise life would suck for you?
Her boobies.
That's two qualities, though, right? Technically, that's two.
I can already tell you're taking this topic really seriously.
Let's be real here. It's all her boobs, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. That's where the brains are at.
No, but that's the thing. So
I loved. Did you post? I think you posted something on Instagram. I showed them to my wife. It was hilarious. It was Teresa posted.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You want to say it? Because I'm not going to say it.
It said brains are the new tits.
Yeah. Yeah. But
pretty good. The thing is obviously I'm joking, but I see all these people. I get emails all the time about the same thing we're talking about. I'm trying to start a business and my loved ones don't support me, or my girlfriend doesn't support me, or my so-and-so doesn't support me. And, the truth of the matter is people are far too loyal to people that don't support them in relationships. I've got these 19-year-old kids who are dating some girl for 3 months, and they're taking heat about whatever they're trying to get going. And they're like, well, what should I do? Well, you know what? You should fucking cut her off. Mm-hmm. That's what you should do. And the main thing about Emily that made us work is that she understood what my goals were and supported them 100%. It wasn't a situation where I had to fight because, dude, being an entrepreneur is hard enough. Moving forward is hard enough. Trying to find success is hard enough. Without somebody who's supposed to be on your team and supposed to be rowing your boat in the same direction, basically throwing an anchor in the water and keeping you from going where you want, which was the situation, many, many years for me before her and I got together. So, the main thing for me You know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's her compassion or blah, 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 and all this shit. No, man, it's a compatible relationship.
Yeah.
You know, it's matter of fact. Like, dude, she understands that as a team, there's things that she's got to do and there's things that I've got to do. You know, and like most people are like trying to equal out all this shit in a relationship when in reality, if you're on the same team, you shouldn't be playing tit for tat anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so I got a lot of these younger guys and even older people, you know, they're even if they're married and they don't have many obligations, you know, they've got these situations that, and the reason I said boobs, obviously as I'm joking, but like they're with somebody because they like the way their ass looks or they like the way their boobs look, and they're not with somebody because it's a fucking compatible relationship, you know? And dude, my advice real simply is like, dude, think with your fucking, your head, not your fucking little head. Think with your big fucking head. You know what I'm saying? And like, dude, you don't owe loyalty to someone you've been with for fucking 3 months. I'm sorry.
Right.
You don't owe loyalty to someone you've been with for a year that you have no commitment to. Is your life worth giving it up for something like that? You know, and if you think it is, there's something wrong with your brain.
Right.
Period.
Right.
You know, so like, you know, I say the boob thing joking, but you know, the reason I said that, I mean, it is because I want people to realize, like, you know, there's like probably 70% of people that like really would answer that way if they were being honest.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
I don't know, man. Like I just get, you know, it's a frustrating thing to answer because if you answer like I just answered, people say, well, oh, you're all about success and not about family. No, but how much? It's just a fucking ignorant statement to make. You know, success and family go hand in hand. How much better can you take care of your family if you're successful?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which actually is a great segue into this topic that, you know, this work family balance or work life balance, which we've all talked about before in the podcast, is a really terrible way to even refer to it because you're never going to have this perfect balance. That's an ideal that can't be achieved. But I think what I would be very interested to know, either one of you want to chime in first, is what are the key indicators for you that, you know, you can say, okay, yeah, we're doing this, we're killing it, we've got a good rhythm going here, we're doing okay in our relationship, we're doing okay in our business, and then to follow up that question, what things do you do or the attitudes you adopt that have enabled you to hit that sweet spot? And I the way that I asked that was a little confusing. I guess simplified the question is, what things do you do where you are able to achieve a little bit of success in work and home?
And the balance, I think it's just understanding each other and, you know, how things work. I know that his days are jam-packed. He's always, you know, got someone trying to reach him. He's always setting new goals and everything like that. So I feel that it's me understanding that, you know, if it's learning each other's language. They say like love language. That sounds retarded, you know, but it's really like a language of learn his day. I know when he answers the phone, he says, yo, it's what's going on. I'm busy. You know, let's, you know, no small talk. Or if he says, hello, it's more of he's available and things like that. And I feel like when he comes home, I can sense how he is and he can sense how I am. And we just, I mean, it works. It's just, we have a good sense, I think, of self with each other that we don't have to have focus on a balance. I don't know.
No, dude. A lot of these girls, especially out there, they're fucking whiny. You know what I'm saying? You're at work all fucking day. Like, dude, any guy out there listening right now, and females are going to write in and be all pissed off about this, but I don't give a fuck because it's truth. Okay? You got your dude out there trying to fucking do something, okay? Or even vice versa. You got your girl out there trying to do something. We have female entrepreneurs on the show, okay? They're out there spending all their fucking energy to try to better their lives that you're a part of, and they get home, the last thing that you need to be doing is whining in their ear about, you know, why you didn't fucking hold my hand enough today, or why you didn't, you know, put your cup away whenever you drank out of the water out of it, or whatever, dude. It's just, you know, people get emotionally beat up over the most ridiculous shit and nagged. You know what I mean? It's nagging. And, you know, it zaps the energy, man. You only have so much energy. And if you're getting your energy zapped at home by your significant other over insignificant bullshit, you know what I mean? Oh, you know, what's wrong? What? I don't understand. Why are you in a bad mood? I'm in a bad mood because I said to fire 8 motherfuckers today. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Something you know nothing about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is like people don't fucking think about that. They're selfish in their thinking. They think about like, you know, they instead of thinking like, oh, it could have been a terrible day or it could have been this, they take everything personal. You know what I mean? And they make it into this like relationship, and you come home and it's fucking therapy. You know, it's all of a sudden you got to lay on the couch and put your feet up and have this fucking therapy session about why, whatever. You know, the reality is anybody who's in business, anybody who's an entrepreneur, and I don't care who they are or what they say, they're going to have a little bit of a fucked up relationship. It's just not traditional. It's not what you see in real life where people hold hands and fucking walk down the street and have a picket fence and all this shit. You know, it's just not.
Did you guys happen to listen to Gary Vee's podcast about this whole work-life balance thing, where he basically said he knew that there were times that he was neglecting his family. He didn't want it. He didn't want to. I don't want to misrepresent him. I think that's pretty. It's been a while since I've listened to it, but he's basically saying that like there is no perfect scenario. You have to do your best to try to meet your
but see, that's
needs,
the problem. What you're saying is the problem. You have all these fucking idealistic people out there that think that it should be this perfect little thing. Okay, so you have to understand, number one, it's not going to be fucking perfect. Mm-hmm. It's just like being an entrepreneur. You know, these people wait, and they wait for this perfect fucking opportunity, this perfect plan with no bumps in the road, no obstacles, no anything. And that's why they never find what they're looking for, because it's not there. Mm-hmm. You know, and so you have the same thing now. You have these people who think relationships are supposed to be this like thing that they think about or they see on TV or whatever they fucking read about somewhere or see on TMZ or whatever. I don't know where the fuck they get this idea, but they have an unrealistic idea of what's reality.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, like you said, it's... Oh, go ahead,
sorry,
Tyler.
If I may, Andy, because I know Emily on a personal level, and she's probably the most selfless person I know, how much easier does she make your career?
1,000,000 times.
Because she understands that.
Right. But see, that's the thing. And like, that's where like I hear these guys, especially because I get a lot of guys saying this to me. And I don't know if it's because I have more male followers or whatever it is, but I get a lot of guys who are like, man, I've been with this girl for this amount of months, and you know, she doesn't support my goals or my dreams, and she thinks I should blah blah blah. And what should I do? What the fuck do you think you should do?
The thing is, they always say that who you marry or you date, anything like that, that's your most important business decision. You're not going to make a deliberate bad decision in business, so why would you make that in your relationship?
You're also not going to make an emotional decision in business based off of some fucking shiny thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what most people do. They make a totally emotional decision about their partner, and then they try to make these logical decisions. They try to mesh those things together, and it doesn't work.
So you didn't listen to Taylor Swift and then go ask Emily to marry you?
Oh, Lord.
No, I honestly, before I met her, I was never going to get married.
Yeah?
Never.
Yeah.
Never fucking, never, ever, ever.
So playing devil's advocate, I'm just going to throw this out there. What if somebody says, great, well, you know, Tyler calls her selfless. Basically what you're telling me, Andy, is you married a doormat. She just does whatever you want her to do. You know, I'm playing devil's advocate.
I know you are.
Don't punch me. But I mean, she just does whatever you want to do. I mean, what's your response to that?
I think that anybody who thinks that's got a mental fucking issue. Because
so what's the difference between
dude,
someone who is selfless and someone who's a doormat?
Because what's a doormat? Explain to me what a doormat is.
Well, whatever you want, honey. It's all about you. I don't have anything that I'm ever going to ask you to do for me or to sacrifice for me. I guess that's what I would say. I mean, I'm saying I'm pretending to be the person who's going to level that accusation. What are you guys going to say?
Right, and I think I met what Tyler meant in that way. It's more of understanding what is, because you know I have owned a business before, a brick and mortar business, and I was in a relationship with someone that nagged the hell out of me, and it is annoying. It's terrible. You can't be productive. It's fucking ridiculous, and I know how much. Like that annoyed me and how much I hated it, and like you resent those people for those kind of things, you know, and so I can understand from, you know, that standpoint of him. So I think that it's not a doormat. It's more of just understanding what he goes through every day, trying to make his life easier.
It's the roles of the relationship. Everybody's got a part to play. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a fucking baseball diamond, okay, not everybody plays every position. You know what I mean? So we just happen to have more of a traditional relationship. She works from home. She's an entrepreneur from home. I actually don't work from home. I come here. You know, I have a lot of things going on. And, you know, I go take care of my business. She takes care of her business. Time we get to spend together, it's great. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know, man. I still think the idea of like a doormat or whatever, the traditional relationship of like the 50s or whatever is unrealistic. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to think back because it's hard for me to remember what it was like to be in a relationship. But I mean, I can remember being in other relationships where I would get like text messages during the day, non-fucking stop about like something stupid. Like, you know, I don't know, maybe we had a little bit of an argument the day before and then the argument just drags on all day long through text. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But see, here's the problem. So what ends up happening and what you guys and girls need to understand is that what ends up happening is you're getting yelled at for being too ambitious, too goal-driven, too wanting success, all right? So then you back off, right? And then you come and you give your attention to all this person. And then guess what? Then the problem becomes not that you're ambitious and goal-driven and blah, blah, blah. The problem becomes that you're lazy and you're fucking broke.
So like nothing's good enough.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you have to realize that. So when people fucking nag you, cut them out of your life. I don't care who they are.
Agree.
Yeah. So you mentioned two things. One, you said that Emily had some stuff going on at home entrepreneurially, and then you also said that, you know, contrary to this person who was constantly texting you, you weren't doing that, which tells me not only, you know, to piggyback off of Tyler, but it's not just selflessness, but you're confident. You've built that. You have a healthy independence. So on that note, why don't you tell us what you're doing? What's your business venture?
Business venture. It's fithomeandhealth.com. It is a website right now. I have some cookbooks coming out. Hopefully the first one will be out like early winter. And it's basically healthy living, lifestyle. I was inspired about 6 years ago to start this because I was shopping for some healthy cookbooks and they all required ridiculous, you know, spices that I couldn't find, or they were ridiculously expensive. They were a pain in the ass to make.
Right.
And I said, fuck this. I'm doing my own thing. So I just started doing that. And then this February, Andy and I talked about just me taking that on full time. And because our lives are just getting increasingly busy with him. And we made the joint decision that I would leave my career and do this full time and pursue that. And then,
so you're currently doing something else too. Oh, no, sorry, I misheard you. So you already did that. You already left your career to.
Yes, I left my career.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Just this past February that I was at for 8 years. Actually, the job that I met Andy at,
Gotcha.
I left there and started doing this full time and working from home. And I really enjoy it. It's Andy's been super, super supportive of this. And, when I mentioned it, he's like, fuck yeah, go do your thing, do your own thing. So it's a pretty easy decision.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take it just a second to do that boring information that we always like to share. Those of you who want to catch this episode, go to the MFCEO /P16, and you can check out episode notes, links galore, book recommendations, all that good stuff. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and mention the winners of the shout-out competition or contest that we had last week.
Did you already do that?
Well, we did that on an episode that we ended up scrapping.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I felt like we did that already.
Yeah. So I'm just going to make this real quick. Shout-outs go to @GetSkull. That's spelled SKULLE. @GetSkull. He's a Missouri entrepreneur who sells hygiene products and the like. @Gorilla01. Gorilla as in guerrilla warfare, not the ape. And I believe Aaron is an athlete and personal trainer and has just a lot of things going on, dadhood and husband, and people spoke very highly of him. So that shout out to @Gorilla01. And then finally @Isaiah Robertson, and that's spelled with an L, which is a little confusing, but it's @Isaiah Robertson, and he runs an organization called Stat Basketball, which it looks like it helps youth who face different challenges, and I'm sure he's got a lot going on. But check out those three. Oh, and then I have to throw in @Natalie Works, who is the mom of @Get'em Scott, who has a skincare business, and she works real hard. So that's our shout-out winners. We'll do that at some point in the future. So just going back to you, Emily, a little bit on what you're doing, because I know we do have, it's not the majority, but we do have a good contingent of our listeners who are women. So talk to me a little bit about, are there unique challenges to having a business that's targeting and marketing to women? Because I mean, I take it that's Fit Home and Health is
a lot. I mean,
that.
I do have some, a male audience as well, but for the women, it's still a little bit more traditional where a lot of the women, do the cooking. I do have the portion of men a lot of the men that that follow, they're chefs actually too. So it's kind of, it's neat that they get into it as well. And I haven't had any challenges so far as being a woman. I think it's just, you have to put yourself out there as the way you want to be perceived and, respected and who you are, you know? So I haven't had any type of challenges as far as that goes, but it's just putting out content that people can relate to. It's not overly girly. It's not fluffed up. It's here's how you make this, provide a good dinner. And
yeah.
So
let's suppose that you guys are friends with another couple and one of them has a real strong desire to build something big in business, but you're noticing something about the other person in that relationship, and what you're noticing are red flags, things that you're thinking, this is going to be trouble down the line.
Deal.
What are some of the things you're noticing?
People that are needy, lack confidence. They want a lot of attention. They're not good with being alone. You have to be able to.
People who make remarks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll hear this. I hear this a lot actually. They make little remarks. They'll tell you like the little clues, like, the one, he just works so much, or he's always working, and it's like set in a complaint tone. It's like, look, bitch, he's working so he can pay your fucking bills. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've heard people say stuff like that, and they'll say,
God.
"Oh, we were supposed to do this, but he's got to work."
Well, the
it's
funny thing is,
comments.
the funny thing is when people like other girls bitch to you about people that work for us here, and they act like I fucking never work. It's
I know.
It's like telling
if
you
they
like,
only had a fucking clue.
yeah, right. Like, I mean,
It's 24.
It's like, dude,
It's unreal.
the dude might work like 50 hours a week. You're like, oh, he's always working, blah blah blah. And she's like rolling her eyes.
Yeah, and
it happens. Like it's like people
laughable.
don't think about what they're saying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it does. It is comical because it's like they don't understand. Like, oh yeah, Andy's at the office, then he comes home and he's working.
Till
and
fucking I go to bed.
Exactly. No, and
Right.
then he can't fucking sleep because he has ideas, or he gets up and he's like doing emails or reminding himself stuff. So
But I mean, the red flags are obvious if you look for them. I mean,
they're not red; they're flaming.
right? Yeah. When people make remarks about how much you work or this or that, and let's say in the beginning of a relationship, less than a year probably, dude, that's an automatic issue. What do you think that's going to fester into? You know what I mean?
Look for the people that I think are they feed into the drama. If they watch reality TV, that's a red flag.
That's a red
That's
flag.
not going to
No
work
shit.
out.
Nice.
Another red flag would be the person that is working in the relationship all of a sudden loses like drive or passion.
Dude, I see that
Yeah.
all the time. I can't tell you how many employees I've had that have met some new girl. All of a sudden, they're all about this girl, and all of a sudden, their work situation goes to total shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guys, and that's the mentality of society. And I'm going to get hate mail on this. I don't really give a fuck. But the reality is the mentality of society is this emotional-minded, fucking fluffy bullshit, Care Bear shit is what I call it. Let's all hug and sing Kumbaya and let's operate our whole lives on emotion.
Yeah.
It's not the fucking reality of the world. If you want to, dude, if you want to drive a nice car, you want to live in a nice house, you want to have a nice bank account, you want to be able to do shit, you're going to have to think logically, not all emotionally. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
and dude, the reality, what's the reality of a relationship anyway? People can fucking fake a relationship for 6 months. They can pretend to be what you want them to be for at least 6 months. Then it'll be perfect. Then the little red flags will start coming out. Okay. Then 3 years from now, you're breaking up with them because you fucking hate them. And you would have hated them in the first place had they fucking not lied about who
Exactly.
they were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's all fucking, I just have a different take, man. Like her and I got along as friends. You know what I mean? She understood what it means to fucking work because her dad, I think, has probably set that example for her, and she saw that in her own family, and I recognize that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we get along. We fucking laugh at each other's jokes. You know, I think she's pretty good looking.
Yeah.
It's that fucking simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's not that hard. And,
You
you
didn't need to get on Match.com or anything like that?
No, believe it or not, you know, it's just it's one of those things. It's just people overcomplicate it. It's just like fucking being an entrepreneur, dude. People overcomplicate the whole fucking thing. You know, instead of like what I say all the time, take one customer, turn it into two, don't overcomplicate it. People do that with relationships. You know, they look for this thing that doesn't exist. They look for perfection. They look for no road bumps. And instead of becoming good with somebody who's like-minded, you know, they do fucked up shit because people are fucked up. They think things like this. Oh, well, that guy's kind of boring. I'm going to go for this person who's a challenge. Well,
Then they bitch about it because it's like
Yeah.
bad dude or bad bitch shit. And
Or
I'm
waste
glad
a
you
bunch
made
of time like I did and try and change a person.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they do. They'd rather, instead of finding somebody you're compatible with, dude, let's be real, man. Let's be fucking real. This show's about reality. People fucking go out with people for sexual reasons. All right? Once you had sex with somebody for a fucking year, guess what? You get used to it. No matter who the fuck you're with.
Law of diminishing returns.
That's what I'm saying. It's reality, dude. And I'm not saying like, you know, sex life, this or that, but I'm just saying like people make these decisions that ruin their whole fucking lives
Right.
based on something that's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, dude, I got this perfect partner. Oh, I like this other girl's titties. I'm gonna go fucking bang her, and they ruin their life. You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, dude, they don't get it. And like, dude, these young guys especially, because I know you're all walking around with fucking boners half the time. You know, they're the ones making these stupid ass decisions about who they should be dating, dude. And they go out with these chicks that fucking hang around dudes with bottles at the club and shit instead of picking up somebody who's got a fucking brain and who could be a good partner in life. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
dude,
I look at them and
We've
I'm
had this
like,
discussion.
dude, and I see dudes with them and they're like, oh yeah, we're getting married. And I'm like, my face, I got like, you know, I can't even hide it anymore.
No,
I'm to the
Andy's-
point now where
Yeah,
it's
he
like
can't hide his emotion.
when people tell me that, I'm like, dude, I mean, you for real? Honestly, I thought you were fucking paying her for the night. You know what I mean?
And he,
Right,
yeah, he'll
right,
ask too.
right.
Yeah. I mean, dude, but that's what guys do. And then they call and they email me and they say, Andy, my girlfriend says I work too much.
Right.
My girlfriend says I'm too ambitious. How can you be too ambitious? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That same girl, you're going to fucking quit your job. And that's what's funny about these dudes that like get all wrapped up in these relationships. They end up quitting a job or changing jobs to spend more time with their girl. And what happens? The girl fucking kicks them out.
Right. Or cheats on them.
Right. With
Yeah.
somebody who's got more money or
Yeah.
somebody who's got more success or somebody who has more ambition.
So I'm really glad you're getting fired up about this.
I am because it's so, dude, I could fucking seriously unload right now, but it would involve like words like whore and slut and fucking skank. And because those are the words that I actually use.
Yeah.
And it would,
it goes both ways.
and
though.
it,
I mean,
it
the
would,
guys
it
are
would
like that,
include
too.
words like moron,
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Okay. Dumbass. But I'm just not going to insult everybody. I mean, like, but use your fucking brain. You know, it's a partnership. It's the most important partnership of your life. You should fucking look past somebody's physical attributes and connect with somebody on a mental level and on a friendship level. Because what I'm saying about the sexual things and this and that and whatever is like, dude, what are you going to have when you get used to that? It's whatever else you have. It's what's left. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And dude, you know, people always like, I hear people complain like, oh, dude, we just don't have the fucking, the magic we used to have. You mean like when you first met and it was brand fucking new and it was exciting and you don't have that anymore after 2 years? Welcome to the fucking club. That's everybody. That's fucking everybody. That's everybody. Everybody in the fucking earth. And if you say different, you're a fucking liar.
Right.
So
But the mistake they make is then saying
they think that's love.
Yes,
They think
yes.
that's love.
They think that's love.
They think the love is the fucking infatuation phase that when you first start dating. They think,
Right.
oh, that's love. And I'm out of love because I'm not like as excited. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As I was. Well, dude, that's not it. It's just like anything. It's anything that you become familiar with is less exciting naturally. You know what I mean? So people do this all the time. They go in a relationship, and I would say that relationship can last, you know, that period can last like probably 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Where you're just crazy and excited and all that shit.
Right.
And then what they do is they say, oh, I fell out of love. And then they break up and they start over. And then they go do this. Like, dude, I have fucking friends who have married twice already. They're 35 years old. You know, 3 times, more than that. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, stop and think about what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean?
I know a lot of friends that have to be in a relationship, and it holds them back career-wise.
Dude.
Because they jump from one girl to another girl, and it just...
Look, I'm not going to lie. When I was making my business, like whenever we were broke and we were coming up, we didn't have shit, my 100% priority was business. And I lost girlfriends over it. And dude, I lost friends over it. I lost girlfriends over it. And you know what? I couldn't be fucking happier about it. That's the reality. You know, because now I look back and I think, man, I could have fucking ended up with that person. I could have ended up here. I could have ended up there. And it's hard for people when they're younger, especially, to see the reason things aren't working out until they're older. And then they can look back and they can say, wow, that's why that didn't work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. So I love the fact that you made a distinction between people who are really screwed up, they're negative, and people who are just imperfect. Because we're all imperfect, but there's a difference between just falling short of that objective standard of perfection and then just being a really screwed up person. But here's something that I'd like to ask you, because I know you're really big on the law of attraction. You know, like attracts like.
Dude, here, I want to add something to what you just said. Like, there's a lot of people out there, and you have to fucking look out for them. They're puppet masters, okay? And what they do is they have no power in life. They have not accomplished anything. They don't have any power over anything. And a lot of times, this is girls, because a lot of girls fucking go through life trying to think, I'm going to find a rich guy and I'm going to fucking marry him. Like, that's their strategy in life. Like, dude, if that's your strategy and you're listening to this, you are fucked up, period. Okay? And so what they do is they try to use their vagina to manipulate you into doing things. And they're puppet masters. And they're like, well, if you do this, I'll give you this. Or if you do that, I'll give you that. Or if you do this, I'll give you this. And like, dude, I hear these guys saying shit like, oh yeah, man, you know, fucking, I'm going to go home early this week, so maybe I can get lucky. It's like, bro, you're the most pathetic fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, that's the most pathetic thing I've heard.
It's
you know
like
what
a
I mean?
dog scratching at a door.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're going to be a fucking dog begging for fucking
hoping somebody
to get
answers.
laid? Get the fuck out of here. You know? Be a man, stand up, and have your fucking priorities straight. And if somebody doesn't treat you with respect, man, woman, or otherwise, get them out of your fucking life. Period.
Well said.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like pathetic, dude. I see it all the time. And it's like I want to reach out and fucking strangle people because I'm like, dude, you are so far away from having the fucking success mindset. Like, I can't even fucking talk to you. You know what I mean? I can't, what I say to you is not going to make sense. You know, and it's very frustrating because I want these people to realize what they're doing is self-destructive. But you can't talk it into somebody that's in that fucking mindset.
Do you think the core of it is insecurity?
Yeah, dude, because guys have this idea like, you know, dude, here's what it comes down to. Let's be real. You know, girls hit puberty. Dudes try to bang them every day, all day long, from the time they're fucking 15. Okay, they're in control. Let's be real. All right, guys hit puberty. They can't even see a boobie. All right, they go through life trying to see girls naked. That's their mentality. I'm gonna do everything I can to see girls naked, and when they find one, they try to fucking stick with them. It's like being in the desert and somebody throwing you a fucking cracker, and you thinking that cracker tastes like Thanksgiving dinner. You know, when you don't have much selection. You know, a fucking cracker's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? But you've got to have the perspective to look and say, yeah, it's a fucking cracker. It still ain't Thanksgiving. And fucking go find Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good analogy.
And so, dude, it's a mentality of
analogy.
men versus women.
Yeah.
And a lot of women hear this and they get upset, but it's the truth. You know, men don't have that fucking constant barrage of potential sexual activity happening to them over and over and over and over and over and over again. So, dude, they take what they can get for the most part.
Dude, it's like we've talked at the bar going out. You know, you see girls, they're waiting and like guys buy them drinks, everything else. It's easy for them. Where guys, it's like takes all they got. They're getting shot down, everything else.
Right. And so, like, dude, and that's why you get people who hang on to something that's not that great for them because they're afraid to like go out into the desert and starve for a while.
Right.
I mean, that's what it's like. But, dude, you know what? Sometimes you got to starve if you're a dude.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I think people don't realize that it is far better to be alone than to be with someone who's bad for you.
Absolutely.
Far
Yeah.
better.
Absolutely.
But part of that is coming to the realization that you actually don't mind it. You like yourself enough that you're okay.
Dude, it's all part of growing
you
up,
know?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and when you're younger and you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you think, well, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Why does nobody like me? Instead of thinking like, why does nobody like you? Why didn't you think about why you don't like anybody else?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Why?
it plays back in the following society and
It's
the
society's
rules.
expectation.
Right, exactly.
Right. If you don't have a girlfriend or you're not married at
Right.
this age or whatever,
There's something fucking wrong with
right,
you.
exactly.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
But having worked with kids, like high school and college students for a long time in my life, I've met some kids who had that genuine thought, like, why doesn't anybody like me? And what I said to, is there something wrong with me? And what I always said to them was, why do you assume something's wrong with you? Maybe something's right with you, and you're just surrounded by a bunch of losers. I mean,
Dude,
that's a possibility too.
I
know?
think there's a lot of truth to that, actually. I think
Yeah.
when you're younger, especially when you're 17, 18, 19, if you're a good dude and you got your shit together, that's not exciting to fucking 17, 18, 19-year-old girls.
Mm-hmm.
They want fucking exciting. They're not looking for fucking Mr., perfect. And so then what happens is these good dudes go try to be fucking the dudes that these girls want to be. And then before they know it, they've thrown their whole life away and they're sitting
Right.
on a bar fucking 30 years old wondering what the fuck happened.
Right.
You young dudes, you guys got to realize, like, look, man, stay on your fucking goals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stay focused on your goals. Take care of yourself first, and the right person will come along and complement that and not just be there, but also push you forward.
Right.
Like,
Right.
And
dude, I didn't even have a girlfriend until I left high school.
Well,
And that was
there's
because-
there's obvious reasons
well,
for that.
and my dad,
I'm biting my tongue.
my dad was smart enough because I wanted to play D1 college baseball, and dude, I put all my focus into that. So it was one of those
Yeah.
things where I made a conscious decision, like I'm just gonna fucking put girls on the back burner, not fucking party, and I'm gonna,
Dude, until you're married and have fucking family, like legit issue, like you're seriously talking about getting a family, you should be worried about yourself first, in my opinion. And people are going to argue with that and say, oh, you're such a dick. But dude, I'm going to tell you, your life is more valuable than a relationship that's probably not going to work out.
Right. Right.
You know
I
what
would
I mean?
also say to anybody who's listening, because I know sometimes we do have people this young who listen, like in high school. If you're a good dude or you're a good girl,
Keep being good.
Yeah, and the
Exactly.
reality is, you need to know this: high school is not reality.
Oh,
not
Jesus,
not
no.
not even close to reality. So if you get down on yourself, just really press on. Because now I tried to ask this earlier, because I'm dying to know what you have to say about this. I know you're a big one on the law of attraction, like attracts like. We meet people all the time who say, I can't find anybody nice. I can't find anybody nice. And the reality is, birds of a feather flock together. And in some cases, the reason they can't find anybody nice is that they're not the kind of person who attracts those kinds of good people. So my question to both of you guys, and Tyler, you can chime in too, is what are some things you would say to people? Okay, you want to develop the character that you're actually attracting people that are good quality people. Give me like 3 to 5 things you would suggest. You want to build character? You want to develop as a person?
Become who it is that you want to attract, period. If you want to attract a certain kind of person, become the kind of person that person is going to want to be with. That's it. You know what I mean? And that's what I just said about guys that are good guys trying to become like these other people to pick up these chicks. That's what they're doing, but they're not thinking it through, because the person that they're trying to actually attract is a shitty person for the most part. You know what I mean?
Right.
At that time in their life. Maybe they'll grow up, but I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, you can't expect to fucking attract a fucking 10 when you're a fucking 2. And I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about everything else but looks. I'm talking about your brain. I'm talking about your sense of humor. I'm talking about your ability to communicate. I'm talking about all that shit. It's not even about looks. It's about, because, dude, you get used to the way somebody looks. Like I said, it's about all the other things that set that foundation. And, you can lay out all these qualities or whatever you're asking for, but the reality is dude, if you work on yourself enough and you become the right person, you're going to attract the right people into your life. And that's going to be friends. It's going to be significant others. It's going to be all of that.
And if you don't, you'll be just fine. You'll be happy with who you are. You'll have stuff going on. And until such time as that person comes into your life, you'll be okay. just because you don't have anybody in your life doesn't mean you're going to be
Dude, people come
miserable.
consumed with the idea of finding somebody,
They
man.
do, but that's our whole culture. I mean, I love I love Taylor Swift. She's great, but that's part of the reason she's so mega popular. Is her whole songs are like emotional porn. I mean, they're that's what they are. They're like people desperately wanting this romance in their life, or they're. I mean, obviously. Well, I don't know.
Then they just attract desperate people.
Yeah, they just attract desperate people. You're right. Yeah.
But I think it's just, golden rule is just treat others the way you want to be treated, because whether that be in a relationship or friendship or anything like that, because if you're single and you treat your friends the way you want to be treated, they are going to, do that with their friends. And I think that's the way you end up meeting people, and with treating each other the way you want to be treated, I think in life.
No, that's a good point. You end up meeting groups of people that are the right people, and then you find people in that group, and then you click with those people.
Exactly.
Yeah, it all boils down to having standards.
It does.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't. A lot of people a lot of dudes will stick it in anywhere that fucking has a pulse. And, that's not a good place to be, guys. Let's be real.
Don't get something you can't wash off.
Not only that, let's be real, man. Tyler, when you and I were young,
We started slow, but man, we have caught fire.
When we were all young, man, we had to steal porno magazines. Now you just go online.
Steal, man. I paid people for that shit.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying, man. You hide that shit like your secret hiding spot. Like nowadays, man, you just fucking click over the computer, man.
Yeah, but
Or
Instagram. All right. So I'm just gonna let me get on my high horse just for a second here. Right?
all right.
You pastor of disaster. I have talked to guys, and they're serious. Okay, they're serious about this. I have said to them, dude, you need to meet a real girl. You need to have a real relationship and actually be in love and get married and learn all the things that you're supposed to learn in life.
Anything that you can touch or it's real.
No, you know what he says? He's like, and I've had guys tell me this, dude, I don't need that. I said, why not? I can look at porn every night. Are you? What? You're serious? Yeah. No. It's like a smorgasbord, man. I can have any woman I want in my mind. Why do I need to? And they're serious. Listen.
So pathetic.
It is pathetic, but you know what? I thought he was unusual. I Googled this. There are a lot of young guys that think this. There's all sorts of surveys and studies that basically say, I can just look at porn.
Look,
you realize
clearly I'm joking.
Well, hold on a second, because I got to say this. To me, you're a coward. You want, because porn is all about you. It's all about making you feel like you're the center of the woman's attention. And I say to those guys, man, you're a coward, because love, you got to put your heart out there. You got to sacrifice, and you have no idea that you I can't believe I'm going to actually use this phrase, but you're jacking off when you could be having a life-changing relationship.
Dude, but see, okay, clearly I was joking when I said that. It was a joke. But here's the thing. People,
I didn't get any amens. I was kind of hoping I'd get an amen, but
I want to have a pastor crackdown type thing. You're hang on, like some sort of phrase that you say when he's about to lay down his law.
Well, dude, the thing is that you've got to understand that life is hard, okay? And if you're going to be successful, there's a reason you don't see successful entrepreneurs without somebody in that supporting role, one way or the other. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be gender roles, like the man brings home the bacon and the woman does all the fucking housework. I mean, it doesn't have to be that way.
I love bacon, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But who doesn't?
Yeah.
But the thing is that, you rarely see successful entrepreneurs, rarely, without somebody as a partner who's pushing them forward.
Right.
You just don't, because
Which is why all this is relevant.
Right,
to
exactly.
our podcast.
You just don't. It's not even just like, oh, well, I'm going to be successful on my own. It's like, no, you need somebody to support you and pick you up and push you forward when you need that. And that's where people get lost. They think of it as, oh, well, if I don't find the right person, or I don't blah, 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 or I just date these hoes, or these douchebags for the ladies, everything will be fine. But that's not the case, because there's a whole lot more to life than just your work. And you need somebody who can help you with that and support you and push you through when you need that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So people, you look at guys, look at Bill Gates, look at Warren Buffett, look at, fucking Zuckerberg. All these guys have women in their lives or significant others, and the women too. I just read a story about the co-founder of Oracle yesterday, I think it was, who's a female, or Cisco. Mm-hmm. And dude, all these people have significant others in their lives that push them forward. You know what I mean? So it's not just a matter of do I want to have somebody that I have that is great and no, you fucking need it. It's an essential part of success. You know what I mean? Because what happens is, you know, if you're constantly fighting with somebody or arguing with somebody, your energy gets zapped by that. Then you can't focus on where you need to focus it. So when you bring somebody in that helps make your life easier, and by easier, I mean helps support you, helps encourage you, helps you with taking care of the issues, the other issues of life, and you're doing that together, then this other area becomes far less, you know, painful to deal with because you have the support in the other areas of your life. You know what I mean? But like, dude, you're not going to get that chasing tits and ass. I'm going to tell you that right now. And a lot of people will look at Emily and they'll say, oh, well, she's hot. Well, yeah, she is hot, but that isn't how we fucking.
No,
it's an illusion, like almost, because like people misunderstand our relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because of that.
Right. No, absolutely. Good stuff. So I want to switch to truth or dare. Can I do that?
okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Emily, this is your question.
All right.
I'm going to channel my inner Howard Stern. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think it Howard Stern's private part. So
we need a woman president. Truth?
No. That's not really a truth or dare. That's like a true or false.
Well, that's the
Is
way
it not?
Yes, but I don't know. How do you play truth or dare?
It was your bad idea. You tell me.
I think people are realizing it's very apparent that this is Andy's wife.
No, we don't. We need somebody that can do the right shit, get everything ironed out, and get this country back where it needs to go.
Dude. And it could be a woman or it could be a guy.
That's right. Yeah.
Who gives a shit what it is? Just fix it.
Right,
Quit voting for skin color. Quit voting for gender. Quit voting for dumb shit.
Right.
Vote for the person that can fix the fucking problems.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, here, dare. I dare you, Emily, to tell me what you really think about women who gain social media followings only by posting half-naked pictures of themselves.
So that could be a whole podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I think it's shows me lack of self-respect, lack of confidence. You know, are you trying to inspire, or are you just trying to put a picture of your ass up? I don't need to see your ass progress 3 times a day. Like, it's just oversaturated. And those are the same bitches that complain they don't get respect or they want to be taken seriously. Like,
or they take a picture of their tits like this.
Yeah, like,
you know, and then they're like, somebody makes a comment about it, and then they're like, oh, you're a chauvinist asshole. It's like, look, lady. You know,
I saw a lady in a G-string on my Explore page the other day. She had her back. She's sitting on bed. She had a G-string on. No, you know, she's totally naked. You see her back, and the picture was about meditating. You mean you got to fucking meditate in your G-string? You know, you couldn't have put a picture up in like your tank top or something.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, look, man, the social, the likes and all this shit has become people's self-worth.
Exactly.
You know, and people have gotten so addicted to, I mean, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, all these, it's all genius shit. Because what you've done is you've got people addicted to,
hearts are their social currency.
Yeah, right. And it's their worth now. So like now, dude, if you don't get 1,000 likes, you know, if I didn't get 1,000 likes on me and my workout gear, well, I'm sure get 1,000 if I show my ass. You know, and you know, dude, it's become a situation where people aren't even fucking living their real life anymore. They're just selling their bodies to people that don't even matter. You know, and like, dude, think of how that prevents you from meeting someone who's like of quality.
Right. And once you put it up there, it's there.
And that's the thing.
You
It's
can
sad
pull
to
it down,
see
but
people
it's
change.
there.
People want to improve their likes, their follows. So I've seen girls
Yeah.
that, you know, you have respected, and they start posting, you know, slutty pictures.
Right.
Respect.
Dude,
is
I would
immediately
respect them a
gone.
lot more if they would just
Immediately
say,
gone.
"Here's a picture of myself. Check out my ass," as opposed to
own
like,
it.
as opposed to like putting a picture up and being like, "Oh, progress pic," or
The sun's out today.
yeah, or
Do you like my socks?
I'm so, you know, we all go through hardships in life,
Right.
You know, and some motivational
Don't post some
shit.
motivational bullshit under a naked picture.
Right? Like, dude, just
That's like a Snickers and Diet Coke
just
diet
say,
of
hey.
Instagram.
Say,
like,
hey.
you think it equals out.
dude, just be real. Just say, "Hey, I think I look pretty fucking good in this picture."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can respect that.
Yeah.
At least.
No, I totally agree. I'm going to get blowback for this comment, but the one that I just kind of shake my head is when you have this literally, I won't even say half naked woman. We'll say like 3/4 naked woman. And the caption is something like, "Jesus loves you."
I know.
Or, are you serious?
I know.
I mean,
and they
really?
do some Bible verse or something like, yeah, you may have been born naked. You don't have to stay naked on the internet.
I don't know, dude. That's our culture, right? Our culture is all about attention now.
It is.
So
it is.
But I think with that, though, it brings more attention to the people that don't do that. You know, I think people are getting, it's just oversaturated where you just, you know, if we see that on our Instagrams, we just keep scrolling. Like, you don't even stop anymore. You know, it's just,
well, dude, what I think it is, too, is I think it's very cheap way to create value for yourself online. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, when people say, I work hard to look like this. Well, you know what? That's fine. But, dude, what else do you got?
Yeah.
Right.
But there's also a difference between posting a generally fitness-themed picture and some of the over-the-top things that people post. I mean,
it's a fine line now.
It is a fine line. It is a fine line. Okay, Emily, so it's not truth or dare, it's true or false. Andy Frisella is way hotter than George Clooney, Bradley Cooper, or Channing Tatum.
Definite truth.
Definite truth. Okay, who's the closest? Who's the closest second in that?
What were my options again? I didn't even have to listen because I already knew he was the hottest.
I went old, medium, and young.
He's rolling his eyes.
George Clooney, Bradley Cooper, and Channing Tatum.
Dude,
I say
Clooney, man.
No, don't pick for me.
I'm picking.
I was gonna say Clooney. He is just much more cultured.
He's classic.
Who?
Yeah,
he's Clooney.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I
Dude,
just like
Clooney's a
that
pimp.
look. He's just he doesn't try to get attention. He's not, you know.
Yeah.
I like him.
Although I do like Channing Tatum too. That guy's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he is funny.
Okay, so you know, just indulge me here a second, and this is going to be on an honesty policy. So Andy's got to come up with a name in his mind, and you're going to tell the truth whether she guesses it right. If Andy can meet any celebrity woman who's going to maybe cause him to get a little bit like, whoa, who is that woman?
Oh, shoot, what's her name? Hang on just
Hillary
a second.
Clinton?
Did you say vomit?
Celebrity woman. Well, recently it's been, you know, with Ronda Rousey, all that kind
That's
of
who
stuff.
I was thinking of.
Were you really?
Yeah, I swear.
Ronda Rousey.
I
Yeah,
swear.
that's who I was thinking of.
I
'cause
literally
she's got her
only
shit
figured
together.
out who
She's
she
the
was.
best.
No, that was
last
right,
week.
dude. I
Yeah.
swear that was right. I was thinking Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Dude, it's because she's badass,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You know?
Well, guys, this is episode 16, so if you want to check out the show notes for it, it's themfceo.com/P16. We really appreciate all the support. Speaking of which, I'm just going to go ahead real quick and run through the names of the winners of our review contest, which I announced on Periscope last week, but here they are again. Rebecca Chung of Melbourne, Australia. Soon Nielsen of Denmark, who, by the way, was up at 3 o'clock in the morning watching that Periscope to hear the results. Amy Carlson of Bushkill, Pennsylvania. Andrew Petty of Woodstock, Georgia. And Dr. Drew Casper of Manhattan, Kansas. So congrats, guys. Give me a little bit of time. I'm putting together a little package to send you guys. But thanks for your reviews. And as always, everybody, continue to send reviews our way. We love them. It helps us. It helps our rankings. And we'll have another contest down the line. Before we wrap up with final words, Emily, why don't you share your social media contacts for you and for your business?
On Instagram, it is Emily Frisella, same as that's for Facebook. And on Periscope, it's Fit Home and Health.
Great. Andy.
These guys know my stuff.
I know they do. But you know,
Put
you
it
never
into
know.
Google.
All right. At Andy Frisella for pretty much everything. At Vaughn Kohler for pretty much everything. And then Tyler is at my_Tyler with the my spelled MAI, I believe. Final word, Emily.
Final word.
Yeah.
I've never heard a final word on.
Well, you
We
just
only
got
do it every podcast.
We do it every
Well, I know,
podcast.
but
You
like-
obviously you're not supporting your man.
Absolutely. Final word.
Yeah. Final word.
Be yourself. Have a good relationship and stay on track. I don't
That's
know.
great.
Yeah, great. Cut that out.
No, I'm not going to cut it out.
Look,
Well, Andy always does. I've never heard like somebody like a guest say it.
Well, look, here's the thing. We've got all these people out there looking. Just stop looking at it as this. Dude, if you're going to go out and date and you want to have fun and do all this shit, it's fine to be emotional and do all that. But when it comes to picking somebody that you're going to spend time with for the rest of your life, you know, you should be thinking more than, oh, that person's got a nice six-pack or that person has a nice ass or whatever, or this person drives a fucking BMW. You know what I mean? And the society's gotten so shallow, and it's so easy to get sucked into the idea of a relationship versus what the relationship really is, that, you know, the guys and girls listening, you guys need to be fucking careful. And if you get with somebody who happens not to support who you are, you know, if you don't have family and you don't have these like legal ties to this person, dude, get them gone. And if you do have legal ties to the person, because there's people who are like married and they're thinking, fuck, I'm already with somebody and I have 2 kids with them and we don't have a good relationship, dude, you need to like sit that person down and have a real conversation about priorities in life, you know? And if they don't understand, then there's some hard decisions that are going to have to be made. You know what I mean? So I think that I think I would just encourage everybody to stop. You know, we joked around a lot on this podcast, but dude, this is like one of the most serious decisions you ever make. And if you don't take it serious and you just like meet somebody in a fucking, you know, concert and you happen, you know, and it just kind of, oh, we got married because it's 2 years down the line and this and that, and you didn't think it through, man, you're going to have a hard time. You know what I mean? And I get lots of questions. We all get lots of questions. And I would say 30% of the questions that I get are all the same question. It's, what should I do if my partner doesn't support me? And, dude, if you're not married to him, get him gone. And, like, dude, if you're, like, 23 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 and you're, like, even thinking about getting out of that relationship, you should get out of it, like, today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If it's even a fucking thought.
Yeah.
You know? And, dude, don't let it drag on and become your life. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. I'm not a relationship expert. I've had a lot of bad ones. But
you've learned.
But I know that having somebody in your life to help pick up the pieces when shit doesn't go your way or push you forward or be a part of all the rest of your life in a positive way is an important part to the success aspect of your life. It's just, if you don't have it, like I said, it's not, it's, I don't even know, dude, I don't even know one successful entrepreneur. Not one. I don't fucking know one personally that doesn't have somebody in their life like that. I'm talking about a self-made entrepreneur that's built something from nothing. I do not know one, not even fucking one, that has somebody in their life or that doesn't have somebody in their life that supports them in that way.
That's a great way to wrap things up. Unless you were
no,
Emily,
I was just gonna what Andy said. You know, any type of your relationship, together and individually, it should be something that appreciates in the value and not depreciates. You know, you from yourself. You know, if Andy's saying, you know, break up with them, you should. It should not take away from your goals, from what your life is long term. Like he said, you're young, you don't realize it yet, but you'll thank yourself later. So,
yeah, it's something that should help make you better.
Exactly, it's an appreciation, not
a relation. I guess that's something that I've said before that I forgot I hadn't said, but that's how you need to look at a relationship. If it's not making you better, then you don't need it. It's that simple. If your relationship, if you could look at your relationship and say it's making my life harder, then you shouldn't be in that relationship.
That's it.
Emily?
No, that's it. That's the takeaway.
MFMRS, thank you for joining us.
I can't even say that. It's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. So,
I'll just go by Emily.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it for me.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I'll have dinner on the table.
Yeah, you better. All right, guys, we'll catch up with you next time.